Okay, so what is the first derivative of f of x is equals to x squared sine x? Let u is equals to x squared, that du is equals to the derivative of x squared, that is 2x dx, where du over dx is equals to 2x. Let v will be the sine x. By applying this formula, d over dx sine u is equals to cosine u du over dx. The derivative of sine x, cosine x dx. Okay? Dv over dx is equivalent to cosine x. D over dx, uv is equals to u dv over dx plus v du over dx. So where u here is x squared and dv over dx, that is cosine x, okay, plus ang v is sine x, then ang du over dx, that is 2x. So therefore, the first derivative of f of x is equals to x squared cosine x plus sine x times 2x. Okay, so that is the final answer. What is the first derivative of g of x is equals to cosine 4x? So let u is equals to 4x. Let du is equals to 4 dx. Because the derivative of 4x, that is 4. So we write here the 4 dx. So where du over dx is equals to 4. So take note, by applying this formula, d over dx cosine u, that is equivalent of negative sine u du over dx. Okay. So substitute negative sine, where u here is 4x. Okay. Where du over dx, that is 4. So multiply by 4. Okay. So therefore, the first derivative of g of x, that is equivalent of negative 4 sine 4x. So that is the final answer. So what is the first derivative of g of t is equals to 3t cosine 2t. Okay, so let u is 3t and v is cosine 2t. So u is equals to 3t and du over dt, that is 3. Okay. Then, where v here is cosine 2t. Where dv over dt is equals to the derivative of cosine, that is negative sine. Okay. 2t. Okay, so again, we applying the chain rule to the derivative of 2t, that is 2. So multiply by 2. Okay. So therefore, dv over dt is equals to negative sine 2t times 2. Okay. So use this formula. D over dx uv is equals to u dv over dx plus v du over dx. Okay. So where u here is 3t, then where dv over dt here as negative sine 2t times 2. Okay? Okay? Then, plus, okay, where, which is v, okay, so cosine 2t. And then du over dx, that is 3 times 3. Okay? So therefore, the first derivative of g of t is equals to 3 times the negative 2t sine 2t plus cosine 2t. So that is the final answer. So what is the first derivative of hs, or h, a function of s, is equals to sine squared s cosine s. Okay, so let u, that is sine squared s. Okay, or sine s to the power 2. Okay, so where du here is equals to take note, the power rule, d over dx u to the first n is equals to n u to the power n minus 1 du over dx. Okay, so that. Okay, so next is v. So where v is cosine s, where dv is equals to negative sine s. So use this, apply this formula, d over dx uv udv over dx plus v du over dx. So where u here is sine squared s, and then dv over ds is equals to negative sine s plus v here is cosine s plus the du over ds so this is a negative sine cube s plus cosine squared s, okay, times 2. T is equals to sine 3t cosine 4t. So let u and then let v. Okay, so where u here is sine 3t, where du here, the derivative of sine 3t, that is cosine 3t, then times 3, okay, dt. Okay, so where du over dt is equals to 3 cosine 3t. Okay. Another is v is equals to cosine 4t. So where dv is equals to cos derivative of cosine, that is negative sine, and then 4t. Then derivative of 4t, that is times 4 dt. So where dv over dt is equals to negative 4 sine 4t. Okay. Again, apply this formula, d over dx uv is equals to udv over dx plus v du over dx. Okay. So So where u as sine 3t, where dv over dt, that is negative 4t sine 4t plus v cosine 4t times the 3 du over dt here is 3 cosine 3t. This is for. Okay, so by the way, this is 4 sine 4t. So is equals to the negative 4 sine 3t sine 4t plus 3 cosine 3t cosine 4t. Okay, so that is the final answer. So next, what is the first derivative of g of z is equals to sine 4z to the power 3. Okay, so we can rewrite like this, sine 4z, then we have a multiplier by 3. Okay, so let u is sine 4z. Then du here, the derivative of sine, so take note that as cosine u du over dx. Okay, so therefore cosine for z, the derivative of 4z, that is 4 dz. Okay, so therefore du over dz is equals to 4 cosine 4z. Okay. Again, we apply also this formula. D over dx, u to the power n is equals to n, u to the power n minus 1 du over dx. Okay. So where in here is 3, and then where u is, okay, so we write u also, then n is 3 minus 1. Okay, so du over dz. Okay, so here, or this is equivalent of du over dz, so which is 4 cosine 4z. Okay, so is equal to 3 to the equivalent of u is sine 4z to the power 2, then times cosine 4 cosine 4z. Okay. So therefore, the first derivative of g of x, g of z is equals to 12 sine 4z over 2 cosine 4z. Okay, so that is the final answer.